Hey, good afternoon, everyone. We're going to go to our live general meeting. So just bear with me a moment, and we're going to transition over to that particular meeting. Thank you all for your patience.
So if you would all please mute who are not scheduled to speak yet, that would be great.
Okay, we're live.
Hey, good evening, beloved community. This is Penny Poole, your Gwinnett NAAC president. We have a unique program tonight for you, so we're very excited because you will finally be meeting our team. Before we get into that, let's call this meeting to order, the general meeting for today, May 10th, 2022. At this time, if we can open with prayer by our second Vice President, Hope Dennis, if you would please unmute and open up with prayer. Thank you.
Join me for this time of prayer. Father God, thank you for just placing this desire on the community of Gwinnett County's heart to want to participate in this organization. I pray that as we learn about this unit and this chapter, what we've done and what we're going to do, that you just birth the creativity within us, Lord, to just fight for justice. It's a biblical thing. It's the foundation of your throne. And so, God, we just thank you in advance for the connections and the community that is just being birthed from what we do as a chapter. And we praise you for all these things. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. We thank you for this. Also, we are coming to you this evening from our new platform. So it's a little new. Bear with us. It's a project that Edward Paul, our first vice president, has been working on, and we're very excited about our new platform. So let's get to our first order of business. We need to have the approval of the minutes from April 12th, 2022. Can I get a motion on the floor to approve our minutes from April 2022?
I move that we approve the minutes from April the 12th, 2022.
And is there a discussion before, may we have a discussion first? The minutes are recorded and we are able to share them with our members. Anyone needing to see the minutes may request a copy of the minutes. May we get a second, please?
I second.
And any additional discussion about our minutes? If there's no additional discussion, all those in favor of accepting the minutes from our April 12th, 2022 meeting, say aye.
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 Okay, the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Let's go forward with our minutes. Thank you for that. Our next report would be a copy of our minutes from the treasurer. Can I get a motion on the floor to accept our minutes from our treasurer? Can I get a motion on the floor, please?
I motion that we accept the minutes from our treasurer.
Let's get a second, please.
Second.
I second.
Discussion. Just to lead this discussion, again, since this meeting is recorded and the minutes, the treasurer's report is available for us to send to our members. If there is anyone who is requesting a copy of it, please contact our secretary. It will be sent. Since this is a virtual platform, we will be happy to get that out to you. All those, if there are no many more questions, no more discussions, All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? As we have no opposition, this has been accepted by our meeting members. Next, the reports from our committee members. Also, these reports are documented and prepared to be sent out to our membership. If anyone would like them, they can text, email to our secretary regarding this information. I'd like to get a motion on the floor to accept the committee reports from our previous EC meeting as read. Can I get a motion, please? Can I get a motion from the floor, please?
I move that we accept those minutes.
Okay, can I get a second to accept the minutes from the committee reports as presented in our EC meeting for the month of April?
I second.
Okay, it has been moved. It has been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? The ayes have it. The committee reports that were presented at our executive committee meetings were accepted, and anyone may request a copy of them. Now that we have done the general business of the unit, let's move on to our announcements. And our announcements for this evening, there are 3 things that we are noting, and let me make sure. The first is very obvious to all of us. It is about the elections. Early voting started last Monday on May 2nd, and it will go up until the Friday before the elections, which will be held on May 24th. Again, the election for nonpartisan offices, the judges, as well as school board members in District 2 and District 4 will have elections, and then the judges will also have elections. It will be a primary for all other candidates who will be on the ballot. So please, if you have any questions, you can go to mvp.sos.ga.gov. That's mvp.sos.ga.gov. Our next announcement is about our Juneteenth. We are excited to be partnering with the city of Norcross regarding Juneteenth. It will be held on Sunday, June 19th from 12 to 5 in the city of Norcross. Again, Juneteenth, vendors for the city are free. So we are looking for Afrocentric vendors. We still have space, and we are looking for you to sign up at the Norcross website, or when our site is back up, you can sign up on our site. Again, Juneteenth, the 19th of June, that's Sunday the 19th, Father's Day. Please bring your father. And last but not least, we will have the induction of our new state president and other elected officials. Gerald Griggs, that's Attorney Gerald Griggs, has been elected as our new state president, and there will be the program will be this Saturday, May 14th in Macon, Georgia at 10 a.m. That's this Saturday, May 14th, 10 a.m. in Macon, Georgia at 10 a.m. That information will be on our Facebook page until we can get our website up. Again, it will be on our Facebook page. Yours truly, Penny Poole, has been appointed the housing chair for the state of Georgia. So please come and welcome our new officers, our state president and other elected officials, as well as appointed committee chairs. At this point, we have so much to do. we would like to introduce to you Dr. Rebecca Mitchell, who has an urgent COVID update for our community. Again, we would like to introduce at this time Dr. Rebecca Mitchell, who has been giving us these updates since the pandemic started to keep us informed and safe. Dr. Mitchell, how are you today?
I am good today. I am making sure that I am visiting everyone outside where I have the possibility to do it. Can you tell me, is my screen showing right now? Do you see community transmission slides?
Yes, it's showing.
Awesome. So I wanted to talk to folks a little bit about COVID, and I know that none of us want to talk about COVID. And I'm with you on that one, but it's important to realize where we are in this moment in Georgia. So this is a picture of COVID cases, the red line, and hospitalizations, new hospitalizations in the yellow line. They're on different scales, but what's important that you see is that both the red line and the yellow line are starting to curve upward right now. And that is consistent with what is happening in the rest of the United States. We are seeing an uptick of COVID here in Georgia. Now, we know that part of that uptick is we have a new variant coming through, and we expect that variants are going to come through sequentially. So here's a picture of what has been happening over the past months. And you can see that we initially had the purple variant that got replaced by the pink one, which is now being replaced by the red one. And these are all variants of Omicron here. But a new one is coming through, and it is causing more cases. So we all need to be aware, because I know in my friend group, there are multiple people who have COVID right now. So I know that in my friend group, folks are getting it, and I'm sure that other folks are also getting texts from folks that care about saying, hey, I tested positive. So I just wanted to show you two pieces of information. This is the community levels of COVID. So the new scale we have of high, medium, and low. And you can see that in this community levels graph in Georgia, we're mostly in the green. What that means at this point is that our hospitals are not filling up to a level that's burdensome with COVID cases. But the reason we're all getting so many texts and calls from our friends about them being COVID positive is because if you look at just transmission levels, so how many cases per 100,000 people, we're starting to see those come back up. And this is from the last update that the CDC pulled. And they actually come weekly, so we know that this is about a week behind. But you can see that Gwinnett County is in orange here. So we've had between 50 and 100 cases per 100,000 this week. So starting to be enough that we should be thinking about making the choices that keep us safer. And indeed, here's the level specifically for Gwinnett. We had 67 cases per 100,000. So just a reminder, it's out there right now, things we can do to protect ourselves. If you are choosing to go in dense indoor spaces, your masks are still a great option. If you are over 50, you are eligible for a second booster. If you need testing, important to remember that if you didn't order 2 sets of take-home tests, you can still order those. I just went on the website and tried it myself to make sure that it was not, that it was still working, and it is. So if you go to covid.gov/tests, if you did not order 2 sets of tests to come to your house, you can still order another test set. And a reminder that we still do have testing going on, and I can send this PowerPoint that has the links to how to find testing local to you. But we are looking at a new wave coming through. How bad that is still a little bit yet to be determined, but make sure you are taking the precautions that help protect you. And I will turn it back over.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
The numbers that you were talking about, that those who are infected per 100,000, how reliable are these numbers specifically for the fact that people are doing home testing or some are not testing at all. Can you address that number, please?
Yes, that's actually the right question to be asking in this moment, right? We don't know what percentage of testing is actually happening at home and not getting reported, but we expect it to be substantial. So it is more important at this point to see the uptick in cases and know that that is truly going up at a substantial rate, and understand that whereas before, when tests were free, we had a lot more folks going to use a test that would get reported. Now we don't necessarily have that happening as much. So you're absolutely right. It's hard to quantify what those levels actually are, but we know looking at the numbers that do get reported, it's going up, and we see the hospitalizations also increasing.
And I do have another question. Since you just mentioned that testing is no longer free, are there specific places, outlets in Gwinnett that people can go to that may not be listed that you know about that are free?
I don't know off the top of my head any that are free specifically. I did just go to the Mako testing site, and I clicked through that one as well, and was able to make an appointment in that one. And if you have insurance, those will bill directly to insurance. And I am not sure what that one does with regard to, I did click the I don't have insurance button to see what happened, but I wasn't provided information back on it. But let me do some more work on that, because I think that's an important thing to know. If we do have free testing here for PCR testing, how do we get that?
Thank you. Are there any other questions in the chat from our Facebook friends, from our YouTube friends for Dr. Mitchell regarding this? Okay. If not, then again, we thank you for coming, taking your personal time to assist us with this important information. And we again ask people to stay safe, to do what is necessary for you and your family. We just hope that this just does not take off as those previous viruses. So if there are not any other questions, we want to say good night and thank you. We thank you for that time. Now we would like to get to the place that a lot of us came for today, and that is to be introduced to our team and to find out about the inner workings of the Gwinnett NAACP. I would like to introduce our membership chair. She is membership chair extraordinary. She works so very hard. And when asked, she says, "What can I do?" And she just has been an outstanding person. I'd like to introduce to you all our membership chair, Angela Whitlock. Welcome aboard, Angela.
Thank you, President Poole. Good evening, everyone. I would like to take this opportunity to just introduce myself, and along with anyone else and all my teammates as well. So my name is Angela Whitlock. I'm the new chair member. I'm the new chair membership, new chair membership president. But I joined about a year ago with the NAACP and was very excited about joining new members. I'm always looking forward to meeting new people and going out into the community. A little bit about myself. I'm a mother of 3, and I have 4 grandkids. I've been into the accounting field for over almost 30 years. Worked at a couple of different top payroll companies. Enjoyed it. Took an early retirement from one. Back at work, was bored, didn't have anything to do, so I joined the NAACP, my church outreach ministry, and I went back to work, and so I'm enjoying that as well. But tonight, I wanted to let everybody know that whatever you're doing or whatever you have going on in your life, if you could please take some time out to join us and to see what we are doing, what we're all about. with the new membership committee, we bring in new members, reach out to you, try to get you to join other committees. Along with that, we work out with the voter registration as well. May go to the polls, vote to go help them, volunteer to help them, because we are a team and we work together in a capacity that we can. So tonight, as you meet and greet each one of our committees chairs, I hope that you think and have the time to think about what can you do that you can join one of these committees, because we need you. We need you to help. We need your time. We need your money. We just need you all around as all around individuals. But here in Gwinnett County, we have so much going on. We have the school board election. We have the school board election, and we have the race for the different judges. That's going to affect our kids throughout the next generation. So I hope that you can come into and join us and learn more, because I have learned so much about local elections this year that I had never looked at in the past. I basically focus on the federal and not the local. And so with our second chair president, he's very involved in this, and you just to educate yourself if you don't already know, and you can always educate others while you're in these different committees. So at this point, I would like to introduce. I have our secretary to introduce the first person that we would call on tonight to tell us about their committee, and I'll come back at the end and just ask you some more questions, or ask for questions and Q&A at the end of after everybody has been introduced.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Adrian Johnson, and what I would like to do first is to introduce everyone, and then after I've introduced the last person, then we can start at President Poole introducing herself, then First Vice President Edward introducing himself, talking about his committee, so each person can go in the order that I introduced them. So first, we have President Penny Poole. Then we have our first Vice President, Edward Poole, who also serves as our Political Action Committee Chairperson and Legal Redress Chairperson. We have second Vice President, Hope Dennis. Again, I am the Secretary, Adrian Johnson. We have our Treasurer, Princess Hawkins, our Parliamentarian, Pete Toggerson, our Membership Chairperson, who you just met, Miss Angela Whitlock, our Education Chair, John Cox, our Communications Chairperson, who is brand new to our Executive Committee, Ms. Dottie Sampson, our Youth Council President, Ms. Victoria Chirac, our Youth Council Advisor, her mother, Alexandria Chirac, and our members at large, Constancia Carter, Simeon Harris, and last but certainly not least, Ms. Ada Brown. So let's start with our President, Penny Poole, introducing herself.
Good evening, everyone, again. I wasn't expecting to be here, but yes, I'm part of the team. So my name is Penny Poole. I've been in Gwinnett for almost 40 years. I am a wife of Raymond Poole. I am a mother of two young men who I adore. I am about family. That is why I started my walk with the Gwinnett NAACP. I saw that there were so many things that needed to happen, but someone had to walk forward. So walking forward, meeting people, opening doors, talking with other people, myself and others reignited the Gwinnett NAACP in 2018. We have come a long way, adding people as we had capacity to grow. So we've been growing our committees as we have the people to lead them. So I am so proud to work with the people that we have. We have talented, professional, community-minded individuals who are ready to serve this county. So again, my background, I am a political science public administrative BA from the University of South Carolina. I have 25 years of scouting, Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts, or excuse me, Cub Scouts. I am so excited about working with children. I have worked with in my church, within the sports community, within communities at our school. My husband and I were helicopter parents. So again, everything for me was about family, children thriving and advancing, and about our community. I love working with the people I work with. We are here to serve. It is your servant, Penny Poole, happy to be your Gwinnett NAACP president. Thank you.
Thank you, President Poole. Now we'll have our first Vice President, Mr. Edward Paul. Thank you, Edward. Next, we'll have our second vice president, Ms. Hope Dennis.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hope Dennis. I'm born and raised from Gwinnett, graduated from Tequila High School. I joined the Gwinnett NAACP around the time of George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. I met President Poole at a protest in Lawrenceville, and since that day, I joined and got busy. I've always been a part of the Legal Redress Committee when we got that up and running, and the Communications Committee, helping making flyers and help advocating, working along President Poole and Second Vice President Edward. I've had the opportunity to do a lot of advocacy and activism within Gwinnett County and get to see some of the different systems at play. So just piggybacking off of what Second Vice President Edward said, we need your legal redress. One of the things that I always tell people, when they're so shocked about the systemic racism that happens in Gwinnett, oftentimes people don't realize it's here until it affects them personally. Well, we're here to tell you it's here, it's real. We get so many cases and we need so much help. The more people, the better. So if that's something you're passionate about, advocacy, activism, political science, legal stuff, please join. And then communication, social media is the new age of how we communicate. It's how we connect. And it's the main source where a lot of people get their information. And so it's so great that we have a new chairperson, Dottie Sampson, who's taking over that, and people that are joining the team. So if you're passionate about graphic designs and know how to do social media management, join that committee. It's lots of fun as well. So yeah, just this is an amazing executive board to be a part of, that they do so much work throughout this county and work that even affects across the state. So very honored to be a part.
Thank you so much, Hope. Again, my name is Adrian Johnson. I am the Gwinnett NAACP Secretary. I joined the chapter back in 2020. I used to be a member of the NAACP several years ago when I actually lived in Alabama, but I have lived in Gwinnett in Tequila for about 10 years, almost 10 years now, and I am honored to be a part of this committee. You see emails coming from me all day, all night, throughout the morning, throughout the day, throughout the evening. When you wake up, I'm with you. When you go to bed, I'm with you. So just always expect something coming from the Gwinnett NAACP Secretary email. We want to stay active. We want to stay involved. We want you to stay active. We want you to stay involved. I did just want to reiterate the different committees that we have for you to join, which are legal redress, membership, education, communications, our phenomenal youth council, and our political action committee. So if you want to get involved, we have something for everybody. You're not too young, you're not too old. There is something for everybody to do. Again, I just wanted to remind you as well, or maybe you don't even know, but we have elections coming up at the end of the year. So if you want to be an officer, or if you want to be a committee chairperson, if you just want to become more involved, become more active, become more activated, the opportunity is there. Whatever you want to do, if you want to work in the background, none of us are paid. Everything that we do is voluntary. So if we don't get it right, charge it to our heads, not to our hearts. We're doing the very best that we can. We do it from our hearts. We're all dedicated. We do what we can when we can. So I just want to invite each and every one of you to become a part of this organization. It is phenomenal. It has grown by leaps and bounds just in the short time that I have been a part of the organization. As I stated, I joined in 2020. I became the secretary in 2021, and the secretary post will be up for elections in November. So if secretarial work is your strong skill, then please, by all means, put your hat in the race to run for secretary. All of the office positions will be up and open at the end of the year. So if this is your passion, this is your time to shine. I definitely want to give a shout out to this phenomenal executive committee. We could not get this work done if everybody did not pull their weight. So it's a group effort, it's a joint effort, and we want you to be a part of it. I also want to give a special shout out to Ms. Ramona Poole, who is helping work with the secretary and transitioning into the assistant secretary role. So she has been a great member of the team as well. So we're going to save our questions to the end, but if you would just be patient with us as everyone introduces themselves, tells a little bit about themselves and their committee, and we won't hold you too long tonight. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you for being a part, the most important part of the Gwinnett NAACP. So next we will have our treasurer, Princess Hawkins. Is Princess on?
Yeah, she did say that she was having some challenges because of her schedule. However, I just want to tell a little bit about Princess. She has been with us since 2019. She is an accountant, and she has been working to keep our books in order and up to par per our national NAACP, and I'm getting tongue-tied, per our national NAACP guidelines and regulations. That is a huge job because it's not just adding numbers and reconciling books. It's about filing reports, being on time, being punctual. So we want to thank Princess Hawkins for the job that she has been doing as the treasurer for the Gwinnett County chapter of the NAACP. And hopefully we will hear from her at another time. Thank you, Adrian.
Thank you so much, President Poole. Did you also want to share a little bit about our parliamentarians, Pete Togerson?
Well, Pete Togerson has been with our chapter since its inception in 2018. Pete has not been active as he has been in emeritus, a parliamentary emeritus. So we want to thank Pete for helping to reestablish our unit. We want to thank Pete for taking us through some rough times to help us reestablish this chapter and organization. So again, Pete Togerson is our parliamentarian. He's our emeritus parliamentarian. So we want to give a shout out to Pete Togerson. Thank you for that also, Adrian.
Thank you so much, President Poole. And in addition to Pete, I want to give a special shout out to his lovely wife, Steve Togerson, who is his right hand and our right hand as well. So we thank Steve and Pete for all the work that they're doing in the background. So Angela, did you have any more that you want to say about the membership community, or should we move on to, the membership committee, or did you want to move on to the education committee?
We can move on, but I just want hopefully that everyone is listening, taking in some of these different committees. And it doesn't matter which one you join. We just like everyone to come out and support. And the more, let's just join whichever one fits your heart, whichever one fits your experience. And if you don't have experience, like the newcomers, like the new membership, how to just come in. We all are people. We love people. Just want to join. And just like I said, just want to be excited about meeting new people. And then we may come into the new membership and then may want to go somewhere else later on down the road. But just come on in and join us. And this is just the beginning. Thank you, Adrian.
Absolutely. Thank you, Madam Membership Chair. Next, we'll have our education chairperson, Mr. John Cox. John, you're muted. Okay.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is John Cox. The Education Committee's mission statement is to partner with stakeholders in the community to create a safe, nurturing, and equitable space to grow empowered, college and career-ready, informed citizens. Our vision is a world-class system of academic knowledge and skills based on truth, focused on the future readiness, and centered around empathy, recognition of diversity, collaboration, and respect. As I said, I'm John Cox. I'm the current Gwinnett NAACP Education Committee Chairperson. I've been in this position since August of last year. I have been a resident of Gwinnett for over 25 years. I have a son in the 10th grade that started his educational career at Fort Daniels, then on to Osborne Middle, and is now at Gwinnett School of Mathematics, Science, and Technology. I've been an active parent all of his school years and on his sports teams. I've been and will be a partner in his education. That means that I have been and well known and a principal part of the partnership between the principals and the teachers throughout his education. Things have gone great for my son, and he has remained in the 97 through 99 percentile since kindergarten and on all of his local, state, and national tests or forms of measurement. I say that to say that I know that experiences hasn't been the same for everyone. And I know that one of the reasons I got into this area of community service is because I witnessed a parent cry for help at a local board meeting, and I was motivated and believed strongly that I could help. It was clear that her experiences weren't the same as mine, yet her expectations, her commitment, and her investments were the same. Through this process, I learned a broader problem exists in the GPS system of equity and expectation. Something that I had not had experienced, but it was definitely something that was affecting a large portion of our community. I knew that I could help in this area, so I reached out. Since then, I have received a new education and a broader understanding of the system under the previous administration, and I have partnered with the new administration to help shape the path forward and dismantle the barriers to success that currently exist and derail promising students, while helping other parents succeed and get through some of the barriers and break down these barriers and form new partnerships with their current schools and administration. I have asked that those same parents then choose to walk someone else through the process as well. So we intend to grow this committee like a village, and we're going to grow it by each one paying forward. You know, if you're interested in joining this committee, we'll be happy to help you. What we really need is a single parent. We're happy to have more, but at least one parent at every school who's committed to understanding what the school's mission statement is, how they intend to accomplish that, and being willing to hold them accountable. It requires that you read, understand the policies of Gwinnett County Public School systems. It requires that you be willing to hold them accountable by coming to meetings and making your voice heard. Know that you will receive the support that you need from me and others like me and other parents like me to hold the school accountable and to get things accomplished. We're not looking for adversarial relationships. We're more interested in relationships that foster partnerships and where we can have a dialogue between ourselves, parents, administrations, and other stakeholders to make sure we're doing the best to equitably meet the needs of our students. I appreciate the time and thank you. And if you want to join, you can join by sending an email to the education chair at nwcpgwinnett.org, but you also would have to be a member first. We'd love to have you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John. Before we move forward, let's go back to our first vice president, Mr. Edward Poole. And Edward, during this time, if you can flash Dottie's picture and just read her brief intro as well.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, I came in a different route since I gave that eloquent speech and nobody heard anything.
I heard everything you said earlier,
I'm
so I
talking
don't
about
know who
the
could
people-
not hear you.
The people on social media said they couldn't hear me.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe because I'm sharing my screen, so I'm sorry about that on the computer. So hopefully they can hear me now because I done stepped away for the computer so we wouldn't have an echo. But my name is Edward Paul. I'm the first vice president and political action committee chair at the Gwinnett NAACP. First of all, I want to thank President Poole for having faith in me to become first vice president. I've been with the chapter since 2020. Is when I first joined. We reactivated in 2018. That's about halfway through that time. I've been a member. My family, we moved here to Georgia about 6 years ago now, almost. I'm originally from Mississippi. So just so many great things we've accomplished over the last 2 years. From growing our social media presence to just adding more members, getting more people involved. As far as the PAC, I'll talk about the work we've done. We've knocked on over 3,000 doors, close to 4,000 doors during last year's municipal election. This year, we've registered over 100 students to vote for this upcoming primary election that's going on right now. That'll be the actual election day will be on May 24th. So just proud of the work we've done. We posted a number of civic education and meet the candidate forums just to help the community get introduced to a lot of the candidates and who they're voting for. A lot of the judicial forums. We did one on school board. And we hope to continue that work into the fall to prepare for the general election. So again, very grateful, very humbled by the whole EC and the rest of the members that have had faith in me to run all these different committees. So again, please, I know we've been sending out a lot of emails about phone banking and canvassing, but we need your help. We need your work. We need you to give us your time, the little bit you may have. Any of it is appreciated because we all are volunteers. None of us are getting paid. To speak on the Legal Redress Committee, that committee has been formed since last year, 2021. Their whole role is to handle any complaints coming in from residents in Gwinnett County through our website, which we do expect for those of you who haven't been able to go on the website and join or donate or even file a complaint. We hopefully have that back up in the next 24 to 48 hours. So even though our website was hacked, like I said, we're going to have it back up and it's going to be 10 times better than what it was before y'all try to take it down. So you ain't stopping no show. We still going to keep going on. We're going to go on strong. But as far as that committee is concerned, that's the role of that committee to advocate on behalf of parents when there's, child is being, feel like it's being railroaded by the system, the school system, as well as handle any complaints coming in from the community in terms of housing, in terms of any type of discrimination. They will give you advice on where you need to go, who you need to put in a complaint with at these different governmental entities where you need to file these complaints, whether it's OSHA, whether it's EEOC. And we're also looking, like I said, to partner with some different law firms in the community to also, at times when we feel like you may need to seek legal counsel, we will have someone for you to partner or go to. So if you're law firms out there looking to partner with the Gwinnett NAACP, please reach out to us because we would definitely love to partner with you. And we will have pro bono for a lot of our low-income residents who just don't have the funds to afford an attorney. Like I said, I'm so grateful to a lot of our members that have been helping us both in the PAC and in legal redress. So shout out to Shaniqua for the great job that she did on our forum, County Commissioner Forum back on May 3rd. Shout out to Tammy, who was handling everything behind the scenes from the communications perspective. Dottie's unfortunately is not here, our communications chair, but shout out to her because she's been doing a great job with our newsletters that we had back in April. And so we'll have more of that to come each month to update the community on what's happening in Gwinnett. And shout out to Nicole, who's helping design a lot of our flyers, as well as Hope. Shout out to Zenaida and to Markeisha, who's done a great job in holding legal redress down, to Ruth and some of the others that's been there from the beginning in legal redress, and Rulita. So I can keep going through the names. Ebony and Adrian, thank you all for joining. You all have came in and really helped us in that particular committee. And shout out to all the new law school students who we reached out to, that's coming from John Marshall and coming from Georgia State and the University of Georgia, that have joined the committee and decided to help us. Because again, as our profile is raised and we get more visibility, we are getting more complaints coming in to the community as people know we're here as an advocate for the community. So I spoke enough. Hopefully y'all can hear me now that I'm on a different device. And thank you for y'all time. And like I said, I will look forward to continuing to hopefully serve as your first vice president and continue to do the work that needs to be done in our community for the betterment of our community. So we got a lot of, I see a lot of people in the chat, a lot of people watching live, and a lot of people are in the room. So hopefully y'all got some questions for our executive committee members.
Thank you so much, First Vice President Paul, doubling as our PAC chair and legal redress chairperson. Next, we'll have our Youth Council President, Ms. Victoria Chirac.
Hello, everyone. Hopefully you can see me. My name is Victoria Chirac, and I am the Youth Council President. So I'm originally from New York, Manhattan, New York. We moved down here in 2013, 2014, between those years, and I attended Northbrook Middle School for 7th and 8th grade. And then I moved on to Greater Atlanta Christian School and graduated from there for high school. Currently, I just finished out my second year at Spelman College. And I'm an international studies major in college. So part of what we're doing for the Youth Council, as the president, I just wanted to encourage our officers to be working collectively to make impact. Ultimately, that's one thing that I always talk to them about. Like, we don't want to just sit here and have positions, we don't want to just be people that have these positions and don't do anything with it. We are given an opportunity, and we have the opportunity to actually do something important with that. So I just always talk to them about making sure that we're getting out to the community. And if there's any issues that they want to address, how can we address that? Come to me with things and be vocal, because this is your opportunity to do that. This is technically like your council. So I just always stress that I'm the president of the council, but I work very collectively and closely with all of my officers, just because we want to just be as impactful and as inclusive as possible. So that's a little bit about me.
Thank you so much, Victoria. Now we will have our Youth Council Advisor, doubling as Victoria's mother, Ms. Alexandria Chirac.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Yes, my name is Alexandria Chirac, and I'm originally from Harlem, New York. I graduated from Bronx Community College, CUNY, with my associate's degree in paralegal studies. I continued my education at York College, CUNY, and graduated with my bachelor's degree in history. And then I went on to Piedmont University in Demarest, Georgia, and graduated with my master's in educational studies. I received the Gloria Wallman Award for courage, strength, and perseverance. I am a member of Phi Alpha Theta National History Honor Society, and I have been in the education field for over 10 years. So I'm very happy to be here in Gwinnett County with the NAACP Youth Council, and I hope that we can do great things in the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Alexandria. Next, we will have our members at large. Thank you. There she is, Alexandria.
Hi, everyone.
Next, we will have our members at large. First, we'll have Constancia Carter, then Simeon Harris, and then Miss Ada Brown. Is Constancia with us, Edward?
Constancia just informed me that she was on a time constraint.
Okay.
And that she had to leave the program. But I wanted to just give a slight introduction of Constancia. She is a friend. She is a soror. I have known her for about 5 years here in Gwinnett. She is an attorney, and that's how I met her. I met her through us talking and finding what we had in common. So I mentioned the Divine Nine strictly at this time because not only are we walking that walk, all the other organizations have been standing strong and reaching out to the Gwinnett NAACP. We just had the Brothers of Omega who have been contacting us, wanting to become a part of this team. We have had the Sisters of Delta Sigma Theta reach out. We have had the Sisters of Alpha Kappa Alpha reach out. So we're asking for all of you, Divine Nine, to reach out. My soror of Sigma Gamma Rho, Constancia Carter, came to assist because she knew I was a soror in need, and she was a soror indeed. She helped us to establish prerequisites in our legal redress. She was very instrumental in the 2020 election that helped us to elect the senators as well as the president. She has been one of the architects of our virtual programming when we were talking about the education piece and in teaching our community about civic education. This was very, very important to her. So civic education was one of the things that she was a proponent of, seeing that our community just, this was an avenue that she wanted to present. So her working along with our first Vice President, Paul, who is the PAC chair, and all of those other instrumental people who have been working has shaped our PAC into one of the most inviting, enthusiastic, and far-reaching units, PAC units in the state of Georgia. And I'm going to say that again, and not even lightly, with people like Constancia, who was helping First Vice President Paul build this, as well as Hope Dennis, another architect. Our PAC is one of the most outstanding PAC units for the NAACP in the state of Georgia. So again, I am speaking about Constancia Carter, speaking about the marvelous things that she has done. Again, bring your expertise, come and join us. And we will be reaching out to the other Divine Nine organizations to come aboard and work with us toward a positive end for November 2022. Again, Constancia, we thank you for everything that you do, your energy and heart. Blessings from Constancia Carter.
Thank you, President Poole. Edward, is Simeon here? I can't see who's here and not here. Okay, before we move to Ada, I will say a few words about Simeon. Simeon has been very instrumental in our communications committee prior to us establishing Dottie as our new communications chairperson. When I first joined the Gwinnett NAACP, I joined the communications committee working closely with Simeon, and he has been phenomenal. I used to call him our Steven Spielberg. Simeon has his hand in a lot of different areas. He carried a lot of different duties in the Gwinnett NAACP. I know that he has a lot going on personally and professionally, but I did just want to give him a shout out because he is a member of our members at large executive committee. And next we'll have Miss Ada Brown, who is also a member at large, our newest member at large.
Thank you to all of you. And you don't want to get Ada Brown started. I am very delighted and elated to be a part of this team. My background, of course, I have been in state of Georgia from the time that I was about 7 years old. I graduated out of Wilson High School in Tifton, Georgia. That's where I grew up. Left there in 1963.
Miss Ada, your camera is not on in case.
Oh, okay. So you can hear me. I'm the oldest, probably the oldest person on this team.
But the feistiest.
I grew up in Tifton, Georgia. My family arrived in Tifton when I was about 7 years old. My father was a sawmiller. So when you're doing sawmill and cutting timber, you're following that mill. And so my father settled us in Tifton. And of course, I graduated from Wilson High School in 1963. Left there, never intended to come back to Georgia, but I went on to college up in Detroit, Michigan. One of the only HBCU that was instilled, that was operating at the time. That was Lewis College of Business. Met my husband and he took me to Flint, Michigan. Was there for 35 years and he was worked for General Motors. And of course, I was very interested in education, so I went on back to school to get an undergrad degree from the University of Michigan. Flint, a master's from Central Michigan University, Denver College of Financial Planning, with a whole lot of certificates and certifications over the years, working in both private and public enterprises. My last professional one was in the public health department in Genesee County Health Department in Flint, Michigan. Now everybody knows about Flint and its water crisis. Of course, when I was there, that was a booming place, and I was a part of the NAACP at the time. My husband moved me out of there in December 2001. I wasn't really ready to go, but the Lord told me that my husband had done well by me, and he retired for health reason, and then it was time for me to go. And when he tells me something, Ada gets up and moves. And so that's how I landed in Snellville, Georgia. And by the time I got there, they was finishing up a home that we wanted over there in Bridal Gates, Trotter subdivision. And then, of course, with his health deteriorating and having to leave us in April of 2021, on April 9th, as a result of that leave, I was able to didn't want to sit at home and cry because we were married for 55 years. So better for me to take some of the time, in addition to grieving, is to get back out into the community to do some of the things that I was doing as a public health program coordinator, working with the universities, businesses, the county, and the local community, setting up some better projects that are still successful and going on today. And I'm not going to talk about those, but what I'm doing now, when I came to the NAACP, and I wasn't thinking about it in that way, but the Spirit of the Lord put it in my spirit that I should be going to the NAACP. I didn't know where I was really going, but I called, and certainly because he said become a member, I did become a member. and was very delighted and very impressed with the kind of skill set, the intellectual knowledge, and knowing that the NAACP has a statewide, a nationwide presence, and I was a part of that wing of it in my high school years, sitting at the lunch counters and doing all of those things, going to being at 18, registering to vote. And of course, that history under Dr. King and the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. So backing up, pulling it forward now, so that just giving you a little bit of history of why I'm doing what I want to do now, and why the Lord said to me to move in what I'm doing now, and to be a part of what this organization needs. Because you have everything he told me in December 20, that my generation, your generation, and my cry was, the cry that I had in order for him to tell me to get up and be the catalyst for the change that I seek, was because of what I saw was the unjust killing of Black males. That was my cry, and my moaning and groaning and asking the Spirit of the living God, what is the solution? Not to pray, my praying, what is the answer? What is the solution to this issue? And he gave me that solution on September the 22nd, 2016, early in the morning. And now, when I move about and look at where this nucleus is, and looking at my own county, which, because I was here from 2001, never really get truly involved here simply because of my husband's health, and then taking care of some grandchildren that my husband and I reared, and they were over in the Shiloh High School district. Saw what Shiloh High School was doing at the time when they went there. It was one of the prime school systems in Gwinnett County, on a dynamic Black principal. As a result of looking at those issues, having to move out into Grayson, where I live now, the Lord telling me to go back and become a part of this organization, the NAACP, not really understanding why that was important. But then looking at sitting and listening, because I'm always a listener, I'm an observer, and I like social science. So I was listening, and so all of the things that you're doing, the great work that you're doing, and I saw that we did not have a building where you had one location for the work that you do, and you're not really understanding the risks that you have. You don't understand it yet. So that was one of the reasons that I would say, Lord, what is it that you want me to do with this? Then he showed me my past work in that area of a public health program coordinator, working on the staff of the chief health officer, which allowed me to see a whole lot in the public-private system, sitting at the board, and me sometimes being the only Black person around that table, having to represent my community. And then finding organizations, building coalitions to get health information into our communities, and really trying to be the gatekeeper so that my community would not be taken advantage of. That was one of the things that was important to me. And looking and working with Penny, listening to her, I said, this is a lady that has the passion, the compassion, the intellect, and she knows how to move among I call them some of the titans. You got to have that. But I also saw that she needed someone under her wings to kind of shape a little bit of that and share my experiences along this journey. So she's a baby under Ada. But I love her. So I took that task, and I said to her that I was never going to be a committee chair. I was never going to be on the board. I will have to stay as a program coordinator if she wished me to be a member at large. And so after going to talk with Jasper Watkins, because I took the information that I gave all of you and kind of massaged it a little bit more, because I knew that we need I know we need a building. I know we don't have any money. And I know that we need more people on those committees who have the skill set out there in the community and they don't know what you're doing. So I'm taking my little understanding, putting it in you, giving it to you. All I want you to do is take what you need and put the rest in the parking lot or on the board, because you will need it. So that's where I am now. I sent that bio. I'm not going to read it. You can look at it if you wish. My heart is for my ethnicity and not against anyone else, not my white brother, black, yellow, or any other color ethnicity. I'm about my ethnicity, using the skill set that God told me in December 2020 that we have everything we need. He said to me that Martin Luther King, the method that he gave him, brought us deliverance, but it didn't bring you freedom. And that was because there was not sufficient number of Black people with the skill set in every occupation, you can see everything they need to see. And that is that piece of it. He said, now you're ready. Why? Because you have the intellect and you have money. And when he said to, and when I found out that we didn't have a building, and that all of these intellectuals with all of the skill sets that you have over the years, you have no reason not to help support the NAACP getting us a building where we can put all of your important information in one location. Why? Wait, no.
And Sister
Why?
Ada?
Yes.
Sister Ada, excuse me for interrupting you. And you're just going to have me say a charge to keep I have, a God to glorify. You know you preached to us just now. So we want to make sure we have time for questions.
Yes.
But those words of wisdom, the direction that you and the EC have discussed, we just thank you. So at this time, if you may please, we want to take some of these questions as our time is running out. But I'm going to say it one more time.
We're going.
Okay, let's give us one more minute to wrap it up.
Give me 1 minute.
Yes, ma'am.
1 minute.
Yes,
we're going to do a comprehensive need analysis here.
Yes.
I know that's going on out there in Gwinnett County, but that is not the one that we need. We're going to start with them, but we need our own. And that need analysis is going to be looking at the demographics. And we have the pro bono opportunity now to get it all done with the HBCUs here in Metro Atlanta. Clark Atlanta was willing to work, and Morehouse College. We're going to be able to get our mailing survey done through the Neighborhood Commerce International. That is with Dr. Claude Anderson. Most of you know him, and Dr. Mary Lee. All of this is going to be done for us free. And that's the end of it for now. I'm sorry, I don't hear her.
Okay, and I'm going to come back with that again. A charge to keep I have, a God to glorify. Why do you think we pray in and out of these meetings? Because it is God, the Spirit of God, who leads and directs this unit. Ms. Ada, we thank you for your wisdom, the direction, and all the work that you were doing with the Gwinnett NAACP. This organization is established nationally in 1909. Believe it or not, many people do not know that, but we were built on the premises of God, country, family, and duty. Thank you, Ms. Ada Brown, for those words. Now I'd like to turn it back into the hands of our secretary, Ms. Adrian Johnson.
Thank you so much, Again, I present to some and introduce to everyone else your executive committee. Again, I want to reiterate that all of these positions will be open and available for election come November of this year. So if you are interested in becoming an officer, put your name in the hat. If you are interested in volunteering, put your name in the hat. If you are interested in working, becoming involved, get active, get involved. Don't wait until tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised to any of us. Do it now, do it today, do it right now. Even though our website may be sidelined, you can still email us. You can email me at secretary@naacpgwinnett.org. And I can get the message to anyone that needs to receive a message from you for whatever reason. Again, we thank you all for joining us tonight. Now we will move into our question and answer period. And I'm trying to see exactly, I know we have some people that have joined us in the chat. Does anyone in the chat in particular have a specific question? I'm showing that we have Cheryl Brannon who has joined us. Ms. Brannon, do you have a question? I don't see any hands raised. And Hope, I did see that your hand was raised. Did you have something that you wanted to say, Hope? Oh, that was a mistake by Hope. Okay, I'm sorry. So I don't see anyone specifically in the chat that has a particular question. Edward, do you have some questions from social media? I asked everyone in the chat to raise their hand if they have a question, and I don't see anybody has done that yet. This is Adrian Johnson, the secretary, and the membership dues for an adult member is $30 annually. There are no recurring fees throughout the year, just the $30 annual membership. If you are age 21 or under, the membership fee is merely $10. We do have lifetime memberships that are available. I won't go into all of that right now due to our time constraints, but we do have various levels of membership. But our two basic memberships are the $10 for youth council membership and $30 for adult membership. If you need more information regarding the different levels of membership, feel free to contact me directly, or you can visit our website in 1 to 2 days when we are back up and running. But we would love to have you to join us in any capacity. Again, there are no fees per se, just those annual dues that are due. If you join today, then your membership will end 365 days from today. So just annual membership. It's not January to December. It's from the date that your membership is processed, 1 year from that date going forward. I was trying to think if there's anything else that I want to say about membership. Again, our membership chairperson is Miss Angela Whitlock, and she would love to have you join the membership team or any of our committees for that matter. But again, there's just the membership dues, and we are always open to receive donations for any given reason. You can just donate just because you have an extra dollar that you can't find anything to do with. So thank you.
Yes, I don't see that as a conflict of interest. We participate and partner with the Gwinnett Public School system in many areas. We were participated in the blueprint for the future, building the bridge from empathy to excellence. It's the 5-year strategic plan that goes from 2022 to 2027. In that plan, one of the things that we found missing, and we stepped up to the podium and talked about that during one of the board meetings, and it was the lack of an African American history program. That will be instituted next year. They'll be adding also women's studies, Hispanic studies, and Asian studies as well. But that's one of the things that's coming out of that. There are a lot of things. We've had some things budgeted that I don't know if I talk about them now, but we have some things that are budgeted that you'll see. There'll be some very good improvements, especially in the, we use data to figure out the most underserved areas, and that happen to be the areas that were African American and Hispanic largely. We've come out with, there will be a pre-K lottery system that will do a pilot program that will offer pre-K free of charge in those 8 clusters. So there's a lot of good things coming up. We've been working on, we finalized the package. So we'll see. There'll be more to discuss coming up. But yes, you really do need teachers to be in it, because you add a different perspective. And some of the things that I've learned from some of the principals and some of the teachers in some of these meetings that I didn't know of helped me have some empathy for that. It also helped me advocate for them to help bring empathy to the classroom as well. So yes, we would love to have you.
And I would like to follow up with a response to that also. A lot of times, depending on your cluster, depending on your administration, a lot of times it's about how comfortable you feel in being transparent with the Gwinnett NAACP. Some teachers may be able to openly serve, but I know that we specifically have teachers on legal redress who are there not because, who are there because they know the system inside and out, and they are there as experts, and they do not want their identity revealed, and they do not interact with the school system because they're giving us some of the secrets and some of the inside information that is not openly shared with the public. So we need a lot of those people also. People on the inside who can give us information that's not transparent or not exposed to the public. So we have a space for teachers, not just on the education committee, but also on our legal redress committee, where we need school experts giving us information regarding what's going on in the inside.
And I wanted to add to those of you that may not know, our motto here at the Gwinnett NAACP is doing what needs to be done, saying what needs to be said, asking the questions that need to be asked. So on the situation where you feel uncomfortable speaking out, then that's what we are here for, to be your voice. Your voice needs to be heard. That's why we are here. We're not afraid. We have a fearless leader in President Penny Poole. So if you have something that needs to be said, she is the one that is willing to say it. We have bold people that are not afraid to speak up and speak out. So this is where you come when you're afraid for your job, and we understand that. That's your livelihood, but some things need to be said and things need to be made known to the public. So that's what we are here for. We are a nonpartisan organization. We do represent you. This is not just us. We are here to serve you. So whatever needs that you have, any concerns that you may have, please bring them to us, because that's what we're here for. Edward, I do see Miss Cheryl Brannon has raised her hand in the Microsoft Teams chat. So if we can allow her to speak.
She should be able to speak.
Okay. Miss Brannon, the floor is yours. And also show your camera, Miss Brandon, if you don't mind. We would love to see your beautiful face.
And can we have everybody on mute if you're not speaking in the room? Thank you.
Miss Brandon, are you there? Edward, we can come back to Miss Brandon. She may have stepped away.
You hit it on the head, Edward. What we can do, again, it should be up in 48 hours. You will be able to make direct deposits on our website. However, in the meantime, if you really feel that you need to send us some funds, you can send us a check and mail it. And let me give you that P.O. box right now. And it is P.O. Box 957358, Duluth, Georgia 395. Again, our P.O. Box is 957358, Duluth, Georgia 395. And if you would make that out to the Gwinnett NAACP, and we will receive that. So please, if you must send something immediately, we would be happy to receive your check. We are a volunteer, nonpartisan organization, and we are here to inform and educate our community. We are here for the beloved community to eliminate poverty, institutional racism, and militarism. Your Gwinnett, NAACP. Is there another question in the chat?
Go ahead, Miss Brandon, are you there? Miss Brennan, if you are still having problems with your microphone, if you want to type the question in, we'll be glad to ask it on your behalf and get an answer for you.
Great question. I can answer that. That's a great question. Prior to Dr. Mitchell telling us about this new virus strain that is coming, what we have been doing is looking at the reports as to what the status of our community is. Prior to the COVID outbreak, we met at a community center in the Snellville side of Gwinnett at the library on Bethany Church Road. I'm thinking I'm getting that correct. But we met at the community center that was enclosed in the library in the Snellville side on Bethany Church Road, down from Shiloh High School. We are seeking different new locations. However, everything will be dependent upon this virus that still has not gone. However, we will be meeting outdoors for Juneteenth unless there is something that is beyond our control. But as of right now, outdoor functions are still set to be safe. So your Gwinnett NAACP wants to keep you safe and make sure that we all can function as we need to. So I'm going to send a clarion call out for all of you on this line. Tell your family, friends, everyone you know to come out to Juneteenth in Norcross. The city of Norcross, our partner on this event, has gone all out to make sure it will be a wonderful event. So again, we hope to see you soon, June 19th in Norcross at Thrasher Park. But we will make sure that we send you updates on a timely basis from our latest, greatest secretary, who is always sending information out to you. So again, we know Adrian Johnson will be on the lookout to make sure that you stay informed. So as soon as possible, we would like to meet indoors, but at this time, we still do not see that it's safe.
Thank you, President Poole. I have a question of Ms. Ada Brown. I know she mentioned that she had been talking with Commissioner Jasper Watkins about securing a space for us. I was just wondering what was the answer during that conversation. Ms. Brown? Ms. Ada, are you still there with us?
Mr. Watkins, when I met with him, he was going to give me 30 minutes, and we had a whole hour. Because he and I graduated from the same university, and I met with the master's program in the same program. And of course, when I went to sit down with him, I saw him bracing. I could see it in his body language. But when I present to him my folder of what my ask was and what we were doing in terms of our preparing to do in terms of that survey and why that survey was necessary. And I said, that's not what I'm asking you. I'm asking you to help us secure the space, and we don't have any money. Now, who are the wealthy Black people in Gwinnett County? That's where we should start. And he gave me 2 places to go. And I haven't gone to, I mentioned to the president, and she's aware of one. And he sent me to the 100 Black men. I sent left an email for them, voicemail for them. And on Friday, I got a return call, shared with them why the same information that I was sharing with Commissioner Watkins. And he said, yes, send me the information. And I've sent it up to your office. And I know we need a building. Then I shared with him why we need that building, why we need one. And he said it might be a little bit slow, but he's going to get it to the board. And now I need to put the information that I sent, took to the commissioner. I said I send you the same information I sent to him, but I'm also looking to ensure that we have some sense of number in terms of what I'm asking. And when I looked around and asked the president, because I saw a few buildings on 78, but then I was asking the Lord about it. And it's as if we need to be somewhere close to bus lines, because there's no bus line out in Snellville area. And I spoke with her about it, and she said, let's see if we can get into the Lawrenceville area. So I started looking, and I found one place, very expensive, but I found one place that I thought would work for us, and ask that Mr. Poole take a look at that. And then that kind of gives me an idea of kind of an estimate of the budget, because we're going to need at least 2 years of funds for the not taxes, well, maybe taxes as well, but we got to have insurance, water, light, gas, I'm looking at our budget and we don't have it in there. So I thought our ask should be around $600,000.
Thank you for that, Sister Ada. And not only is she looking, we have put a clarion call out to the community. So we will do that right now. It's been an ask that we have been speaking about in our executive committee. Sister Ada has been doing thorough work, sending information to the EC, detailed information about everything that she has been doing. And she has been going forward with the consent of the EC on speaking to, meeting with these people. So again, we thank her again, but we just want to make the general call. Anyone, we don't know who's sitting out there.
That's right.
Who may have a building,
Mhm.
who can let us lease it for little or no money, as we are a volunteer organization that we do not receive funds from our national on any annual or regular basis. So everything that we have, we raise. So if you have that building out there, get in touch with our secretary, send an email to secretary@naacpgwinnett.org. That's naacpgwinnett.org, letting us know about this building you may have or know, or that you can connect us with. We are looking to pay little or nothing. We're even willing to come into someone's building who will make space for us for office spaces, as well as a meeting and event space. So again, we're looking for office spaces as well as a meeting and an event space. So again, great question, Adrian.
Mhm.
Sister Brown, Ada Brown, has been diligently working on this, and everything that she was speaking about tonight with confirmation from the EC, because again, she has gone out there with confirmation from the EC with all the intricate notes that she has sent and meetings notes she has sent to the EC regarding where Gwinnett NAACP is going on with this search. Again, thank you, Ada. Thank you, Adrian, for that question.
Lord.
Any other questions in the chat?
Yes, I'm here. I'm sorry. My phone went out. But you can, I don't know my email by heart. So can I give it yours, Adrian, and do this for? Okay. Okay.
Let me just give the email addresses for each of our chairs. Hold on just one moment.
I have to start typing
Again,
it.
while I'm pulling them up, my email address is secretary@naacpgwinnett.org. The email address for our political action committee is PACCHAIR, that's PAC chair @naacpgwinnett.org. For our communications committee, that email address is mediachair@naacpgwinnett.org. That's MEDIACHAIR. And I'll just read the first part of the email addresses, but they all end with naacpgwinnett.org. So if you need to get in touch with our treasurer for any reason, her email address is treasurer@naacpgwinnett.org. If you need to reach our president directly, her email address is president at naacpgwinnett.org. If you need to reach our education chairperson, John Cox, his email address is educationchair@naacpgwinnett.org. If you need to reach our youth council president, her email address is ycpresident@naacpgwinnett.org. If you need to reach our youth council advisor, her email address is ycadvisor@naacpgwinnett.org. Trying to see if there's any other email. I think Edward just gave membership chair email address. I think that's all of the email addresses that we have. But again, for default, again, the secretary's email address is secretary@naacpgwinnett.org. And I can get your message to whoever needs to receive the message. But again, we are transparent. We are nonpartisan. We are volunteers. So if your email is not addressed within 24 hours, again, charge it to our heads, not to our heart. We will get back with you as soon as we possibly can. But we're all working individuals. We're all busy, family oriented. So again, the NAACP of Gwinnett is near and dear to our hearts, and we will get back to you as soon as we possibly can. Thank you so much in advance for your patience. I don't see any hands raised in the chat, so I only saw that one with Cheryl Brannon, so I don't see any more.
If that's the case, and we're still a little unfamiliar with this format as this is new tonight, can we get the pictures of all our EC up on the screen? Because I'm talking now and I'm not sure what my picture looks like or where it's at. So if we can get everyone on the screen as we are preparing to close. Can everybody unmute your picture? I'm not sure how many of us can be seen at one time, Edward. Okay, so let me close this chat. Okay, and mine is not, but anyway, if everybody can see everybody, it's all good. Can everybody come on one time? Hope, John, MC, everybody's, I'm just calling out initials. Well, at this time, Edward, if you can go over our announcements before we close. This has been a huge event for us, getting people to see who we are, meet us, and hear about what we do and all the people involved. So if at this time you want to please have any parting announcements, Edward, we would appreciate that now.
Right. Right, in case the audience couldn't hear me. No upcoming forums. All I was the upcoming election, which is on May 24th. Early voting has already started, so please take advantage of it.
Okay, Edward, we're not hearing you clearly. We are not hearing you clearly or can see you clearly.
Can you see me? Can you hear me? Is that better?
We can just see your glasses, but not a good shot of you.
I can see and hear him.
Okay, if you can adjust this a little bit more, then we can see you now, but now to hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Like I'm hearing myself in the other room. Like, I can hear. Okay. So, yes, as far as no announcement in terms of we don't have any more Meet the Candidate forums. We plan on doing more during the runoff. Hopefully we'll get the candidates that are in the runoff for District 4 school board, as well as the state superintendent races, as well as the congressional District 7 race. Whoever's in the runoff. If it's Congresswoman McBeth and State Representative McLeod or Congresswoman Bordeaux and Congresswoman McBeth. Hopefully we could get Congresswoman McBeth to come to the runoff if she is in the runoff.
Yeah, can we make it plainly, Edward, that Congresswoman McBeth did not show to our forum? She was invited and did not come to speak to the people of Gwinnett. We had State Representative Donna McLeod, who was here, showed. We had Congresswoman Carolyn Bordeaux, who showed. So we want to make sure we talk about the people who support us. Congresswoman of the 6th District, 6th District, McBeth did not show. So let me thank all of the people who participated on our platform. We want to thank everyone who took time out to think it not robbery to speak to the people, the African American, Black, and other people of Gwinnett of color who tune into us to hear what's going on. We want to personally thank them. Secretary Johnson did a wonderful job in running down people, getting appointments, getting times. So it was a very, very difficult task. So I just want to make sure that we thank all of them. We want to make sure as a team, as a PAC team, that we thank all of them for them taking time to show. Whomever is in the runoff elections, again, whomever is in the runoff elections, we will reach out again. We will reach out again. These elections, again, the judicial elections for judges in our county, and especially the Supreme Court judges who are being elected, and for the school board, again, District 2 and District 4 are elections. So again, I just, excuse me for interrupting, but I wanted to make sure we said thank you while you were specifically speaking about these upcoming elections. Back to you, Ed.
All right. Pretty much, like I said, just make sure y'all get out and vote. Again, early voting has already started. Keep in mind the election deadline is fastly approaching for absentee ballot application. So if you do not get your absentee ballot application requested before May 13th or on May 13th, it will be too late. So again, if you know it's going to be after the 13th of May before you request that application, or it's, please just go ahead and vote in person. I mean, because of how the Senate bill SB 202 is structured, you have to take your ballot into the early voting polling location anyway, and you have to do it during normal in-person voting election hours, which is from 7 to 7. So since you got to go inside the building, put your ballot in the box during election in-person voting hours, if you are physically able to go vote in person, please go vote in person. So please take advantage of early voting. We do have weekend voting this weekend, so you can vote on May 14th and May 15th on Saturday and Sunday from 7 to 7. Please go to mvp.sos.ga.gov and go to that website and check where your early voting polling locations are, as well as check your voter registration status to make sure you have not been purged off the voter roll, as well as check your absentee ballot if you have already submitted your ballot to check the status. So it is your one-stop shop for just about everything involving information about the election. And Juneteenth, we will have our Juneteenth program from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. on June the 19th, which is on a Sunday. So please come out, support that program. For those vendors are free. So please go to our Facebook page, our Twitter page, and sign up. We will put those links out again tomorrow morning, or tonight, as well as tomorrow morning, for you to sign up. But I'm sure you can scroll down our Twitter or Facebook page and find those links, but we will put it out again if you are a vendor who wants to get a table at that event. And that being said, if I haven't missed anything, I guess I'll turn it back over to our president to either pray us out to tonight's meeting.
I just want to say thank you for the team. I am going to turn it back over to our membership chair, who came up with this wonderful idea. I want to just thank her for making sure that we reached out and touched everyone, and hope Dennis will be praying us out. So again, John has raised his hand. John, yes?
Yes, before we go, there was what we call it, an educational effectiveness survey, and that was done throughout the county. And
okay, John, so we're about at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Can we send this out on our Facebook page?
Well, it's real quick. I just want to make an ask while we have everybody here. That way they can come back and look at it. The ask is that we want to have a late bus so that children can participate in after-school programs. And a lot of children can't participate in the after-school program because they don't have a way to get home. So we're pushing for a late bus. So if you would, reach out to your school, reach out to your district board member, and push for the late bus.
Okay. A particular person at the school, or who? Just
yeah.
anyone?
So this is a grassroots push based on that survey where the kids felt like they didn't belong, and so they had no school spirit. They felt like there wasn't respect amongst one another. One of the remedies was to try and see if we can't get some more clubs that they can participate, so that they can feel like they belong to the school, and also we can use those clubs to teach better behaviors and collaborative works and leadership. So the problem with that is that they don't have school. They don't have a way to get home after school. They participate in clubs. So we're pushing for a late bus that will spin around and bring those kids home.
Okay, and that bus is a great idea, but I still want you all to remember, contact Victoria Chirac or Alexandria about our youth unit, because that is one of the main purposes as to why the Gwinnett NAACP has started one of the most dynamic clubs in this vicinity, with a history of programs centered toward African American youth and families. So please remember, join our youth organization, and we hope to bring some of those remedies to the community ourselves. Again, thank you for that announcement, John. Again, let's turn it back over to Adrian Whitlock, our membership chair, who will dismiss us, as well as our prayer, introduce hope for our parting prayer. Adrian?
I would just like to thank everyone for coming out tonight, supporting this great idea with the new member orientation, for all my colleagues, for all the committees, taking your time out, coming out. I am just overwhelmed at the support, but I don't know why, because we always do this for each other each and every time. So I'm not overwhelmed. I am just grateful to have this team, to be a part of this team. Thank you for everyone that participated online and in our chat. Thank you for taking out time in your evening to join us this evening. Hope, pray us out.
Father God, thank you for this time of coming together to talk about our chapter, what we're doing, and where you're taking us as a unit. I pray for all the families represented on this call. Keep us healthy, keep us whole, And I just ask that we have a good night's rest and feel rejuvenated as we continue in the good fight, making good trouble. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Good trouble.
Amen.
Good
Amen.
trouble business. Thank you.
Good night, everyone. Thank you so
Good night.
much for joining us.
Good night. Thank
Good night.
you.
Have a good week.
Good night.